What is up, guys? Welcome to another ShadowPlay video. 1.8.2 came out today, and with it a couple really nice features. Not the audio one I wanted, but these are features that are really, I think, need to be in a final version of a capture software. One, and the biggest one in my opinion, is the custom resolution and frame rate tab and bitrate. So we can, I don't know why in God's name they put anything below 720, to be honest. I don't know why you would be recording in these lower resolutions, but that's it's handy. I'll probably always record in 1080p no matter what, but it is cool that they put that in there. But the frame rate is something that's really important because obviously, like most of you guys probably know, YouTube is only at 30 frames per second. So when I was recording at 60, and especially if I wasn't doing any slow-mo stuff, I was just taking up extra room with my bigger bit rate, and I was having to downscale the frames per second, which can mess with the quality a little bit. I mean, it's a YouTube video, so it's not a huge deal, but it can reduce quality when you're changing frame rates and all that. So I pulled up the patch notes here, and you can see here, note that switching from 60 FPS to 30 FPS by itself will not reduce the output file size. So we do have to change the bit rate. So we have to reduce the bitrate by half. This will keep the quality per frame the same while reducing the file size. So not that ShadowPlay was making huge files. I mean, compared to DxTory, these are already tiny, but it is nice to see that they are working on stuff like this. So if you're recording in 60, obviously we'll want to keep the bitrate high to retain quality, but now that we can record in 30 frames per second, we can also reduce the bitrate. So that is super handy, and definitely steps in the right direction. And as you know, we're still in beta and we're getting all these features, so that's really cool of NVIDIA and all the guys over at the GeForce Experience for taking the time to actually really work on this, and it seems like they're listening to feedback, except for the audio options. Anyway, the second thing they added was the temporary file location. This wasn't a huge deal. I read on the forums and learned how to change my temp files manually. As you can see, I moved my whole temp file to my E drive, which is my recording drive. But if you're like me and have a solid state drive that only has like 120 gigs on it, and it's pretty much full, what ShadowPlay was doing was recording all that shadow video to your C drive, basically. And I only had like 15-20 gigs left over, and as you can see, I mean, I was recording 20 minutes was like 8 gigs. So you do that a couple times and you're pretty much maxing out your solid state drive. Not to mention that writing to a solid state drive can reduce the lifespan. Reading isn't as big of a deal, but writing a bunch is actually what knocks down the years off its life. I don't know how realistic that is in terms of, you know, overall lifespan, if that's like a year or two. You know, we'll probably all be upgrading in the future anyway. Within, if it's reducing a year off of a 10-year life cycle, I don't think that's a huge deal. But anyway, it is nice to know that they're paying attention and also changing this temp file, and that we don't have to do it manually anymore. So those are the big improvements thus far. I'm still waiting on the audio fix, and then this thing will be so solid and so cool. But link down below to my first ShadowPlay video if you want to learn how all this works. But I just want to do a quick update, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will talk to you later.